we are going to work to use the discriminant to help us find the number of solutions. We've had a lot of cases where the graph will cross the line twice. That's how we started solving quadratics. And then we use the quadratic formula. We got two answers. But a graph is not always going to cross the x-axis two times. There's other possibilities that could happen, and that's what we're going to look at today. So we're going to look at what's called the discriminant, the b squared minus 4ac. That is the number under the square root in the quadratic. Remember, the whole quadratic formula was negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we're looking at the part under the square root. That's the b squared minus 4ac that we're looking at. So remember, the b is the number in front of the x, the a is the number in front of the x squared term, and the c is the constant number. So we can use that to find the number of solutions. So if b squared minus 4ac is positive, like it's been previously, then we have two solutions. We get two answers. We have to do the plus and then the minus. If that is 0, b squared minus 4ac is 0, then there's only one solution. And if b squared minus 4ac is negative, then the equation has no real solutions. It does have solutions, but we'll save those for Algebra 2. So b squared minus 4ac is positive, then there's two solutions. If it's 0, there's one solution. If it's negative, there's no real solutions. So let's jump right in. We got this equation. So our a is negative 3. Our b is 5. And c is negative 1. So we want to calculate b squared minus 4ac because we want to find the value of the discriminant. So b is 5. So 5 squared minus 4 times a times c. So 5 squared is 25 minus 4 times negative 3 is negative 12 times negative 1 is 12. So 25 minus 12 is 13. So 13 is the value of the discriminant. So we know, because that number is positive, that there are two solutions. There's going to be two answers. Right? We're not going to find them right now, but we know it has two of them. So let's look at these examples to see how many solutions they have. And we have to start by finding the value of the discriminant. So a is going to be 1. There's no number in front of the x squared, so it's assumed to be 1. B is going to be negative 2. And c is going to be 4. So b squared is negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. So negative 2 squared is 4 minus 4 times 4 is 16. So we get negative 12. That means there are no real solutions. The discriminant is negative, so there are no real solutions. In the next example, a is negative 1, b is negative 10, and c is negative 25. So we got negative 10, this is b squared, minus 4 times a times c. Negative 10 squared is 100. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4 times negative 25 is positive 100. So we have 100 minus 100, which is 0. That means there's one solution. So because the discriminant is 0, there is one solution. So if we have, these look a little different, but we're going to treat them the same way. We want to find when is this equal to 0. Right? With a quadratic, when you're solving a quadratic, you're always setting it equal to 0. So we want to find how many solutions there are. So A is 1, B is 6, C is 3. So 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 3. So 36 minus 12. 24. That means it's positive, which means there are two solutions. Right? If we were to use our quadratic, we would get two solutions. Again, we could easily use it today, but we're not going to use the quadratic right now. We're just finding how many solutions. In this next example, A is 1, B is 6, and C is 10. So 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 10. So 36 minus 40 is negative 4. The discriminant is negative, so we can't take a negative number under the square root. That's why there are no real solutions. And finally, A is 1, B is 6, and C is 9. So if we do 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 9, it's equal to 36 minus 4 times 9 is 36. It's equal to 0. That means it's equal to 0. There is one solution. So if you were to solve the quadratic, you would get one answer. So, quick review. Finding the value of your discriminant, the b squared minus 4ac, the number under the square root. If it's positive, you're just going to continue to get two solutions like we have previously. If you get 0, you get one solution. And if you get negative, there are no solutions.